Tanner Roark has been a mess. I mean, I don't know if Roark's in the rotation come playoff time. Like, Ryu is pitching game 1. Beyond that, I don't know what the rest of the rotation is going to look like. Shoemaker looked pretty good. He's had health concerns. And
how many innings did Shoemaker pitch? 3?
Yeah,
4?
No one goes deep on this team. Like, even Ryu pitched well over the weekend. He goes 6, and check, please, I'm out of here.
He's on I-90 walking to the hotel.
Just out of there. It's the best routine in baseball. Lock him in for 6, and then he has to leave.
He's gone. Yeah, he's gone.
Here's Scott Mitchell, our Jays reporter. Is there any chance he'll ever go 7? Like, is Ryu allergic to the seventh inning, or what's the story with that?
Well, Ryu isn't allergic to it, but the computers in the front office are clearly allergic to these guys going third time through the order, and that's what it is. I mean, we've talked about this for probably the better part of 5 years now, and John Gibbons hated it. He used to, anytime you'd bring this up in his office before the game, he would roll his eyes at you and look at you, and you'd kind of laugh because you could see them, the front office not being on the same page with their manager. And right now this is the way it goes, and this is the new Tampa Bay Rays style of doing things. And they're going to be a team that really kind of looks at the numbers and really goes by that book rather than anything else that we've seen in the past. And it will be interesting because when you look at the way they're going to line this up, I mean, obviously Ryu is going to be in that game 1 on Tuesday, and look, I don't know what the hook's going to be like there. If he's rolling 6th, 7th inning, I mean, I think you got to continue to go with that guy. You paid him to be your ace, and this is exactly why you bought him for $20 million a year. So, but this is an analytically driven front office and coaching staff, and they're going to go by the numbers and the matchups more often than not.
So, we're talking about it just prior to having you on, Scotty. Who would go game 2? Who goes game 3? I mean, I'm having a tough time figuring that out because it's such a drastic drop-off after Ryu.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we got a little bit of clarity on that today. I wrote a column. I mean, you're going to see Taijuan Walker's lined up for Friday now. And when you look at the rotation, Thursday's Ryu, so that lines him up for Tuesday. We've got Taijuan Walker lined up Friday, so that lines him up for game 2 on Wednesday. And then Matt Shoemaker is going to go likely Saturday, so that would line him up for game 3. And then that doesn't exactly mean that that's how they're going to do it, but that's a pretty good indication and a pretty good tip-off of how they're lining it up. And then you got Robbie Ray, he's going to go tomorrow, and Tanner Roark, he's going to go today. So you look at those guys as potentially bulk guys. Behind those other starters, Tanner Roark's not going to get a playoff start. Let's be real here. He's been just about awful in every outing that he's had this year with a 6.41 ERA. Chase Anderson officially got bumped to the bullpen today, so we're not going to see him in a starting role. So essentially you look at Ryu, you look at Taijuan Walker, you look at Matt Shoemaker, and then you look at Robbie Ray tomorrow. And how Ray pitches tomorrow might kind of give the Blue Jays a little bit of pause as to how they shuffle this up. And then you've got Nate Pearson kind of looming as well. And he's not going to be a traditional starter, but he's going to be in that mix potentially if he can get to 40 pitches for 2 innings to be kind of an opener type role for one of those games, either game 2 or game 3. So they've got some options, and they're kind of shuffling it up this week to see who pitches the best and see what how they can kind of creatively piece together games 2 and games 3, because obviously game 1 is going to be hopefully Ryu getting 6 or 7 and then handing it over to whoever their high leverage relievers are that night.